Bennett Bean was born in St. Mary's County, Maryland, on August 5th, 1771, to Robert and Margaret Bean. In 1789, the Bean family acquired land in Hardy County, Virginia, and established what is known today as the Bean Settlement. Yes, it's an actual place. The family, like others during that time, sought land in the mountains that was cheap, and had acquired nearly 800 acres on the North River. They were, however, of humble means, but lived off the land and raised 7 sons. Robert, on November 19th, 1790, became sick and would die soon thereafter, leaving his wife and sons a few of his possessions: a dresser of drawers, a dish, a feather bed, and an iron pot. Money was always hard to come by and rarely lost. Their settlement would grow to 17 households and 93 people, and their sons would acquire 3,200 acres by 1839. Today we explore a portion of Scott Bean's farm, passed down to him by inheritance. Let's see what artifacts lost to time is in the ground. Stay tuned. I am here with Scott, and this is Scott's permission. In fact, this is Scott's family's farm. And he is leading me to where the old cabin stood on this farm. And it's a big farm. You say what, about 100 acres or so?
Yep.
And we're going to check this place out.
All right, so that's the garden right there. You see the deer fence around it. And to the left, up ahead where it's kind of flat, that's where the old home place was, the log home place. It was when I was growing up, it was the milk barn. That's where we milked the cows and kept the hay. But it was the original home that my grandmother was born in. And like I say, this is now all nice and smooth, so I think there's a pretty good chance there'll be stuff in here. With this, I've only been in that back corner a little bit, and that's where I found a whole bunch of the zinc lids and kind of got frustrated.
Yeah. Scott says he's going to dig up all the pie pan plates.
Yep.
You know, all the pieces of pie pan out there. And Scott thinks that this house was probably somewhere in the 1800s.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And then the newer house is right here.
The modern house.
The modern house. And it's probably 1900 beyond.
Yep.
Somewhere 1920. And, you know, we got all this. There's a couple stories here that he told me about. Some moonshining.
There's moonshine involved.
Some moonshining. But anyway, we got a lot here to do. We got a lot of land to cover. We want to uncover some old history for Scott and his family. Thank you guys for joining us. Let's get to it. Okay, I'm right off the house site. Here's actually you might be able to see the foundation or the imprint where the house stood. And I'm right off the corner here. And this is my first artifact. And this is a plow piece. It's iron, but it sounded really good. And, you know, it's part of the story of this farm. And it's part of Scott's story. So we'll keep that. We'll put it over here with everything else. And we'll keep going. But I'm happy with that. All right, you guys. I've been here probably 2 hours already. And I have not found anything other than a rifle shell, a bullet, or a zinc lid. And neither has Scott. So neither one of us are finding anything that, well, you know, things that are typically found on a farm we're finding. And there's a lot of hunting that goes on here. But I have a good signal. I pulled the plug. I haven't looked at it, but I see the edge of it. I'll let you listen to it. Right there. Mid-tone, 18. And I see it right here. And I'm hoping that it's a harmonic reed. But I don't know. Oh, yes. Yes, it is. Now these are very, very common in the Appalachian Mountains. So, you know, these are very common finds in the 1800s, typically post 1855. You know, around 1870, these were very, very, very popular right after the Civil War. And that's not bad. And I'm sure Scott will be happy to see it. And if Scott wants it, we'll give it to Scott. Okay, what do we have here? Boy, I tell you, oh, look at that. Actually, that is awesome. That is a hinge. You see that? That is a hinge to an old door. Oh, that is awesome. Actually, that is a great find. I love stuff like this. You know, Scott says this house is 1800s, and I believe it. And this isn't hand forged. You can see where it's inset there, where the hole is. You see how it has the beveled end to allow the screw or the fastener to be flush with that. But it is a hinge. That's not bad. I'll be happy to show this to Scott. I know that he'll love this. All right, uncovering some history here, right at the old house site. Let's keep going. All right, I got a good signal here, and I popped it out, and I see it. Do you see it? Is it a button? Is it a button? You know, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'll clean this up. We'll take a look at it. But it absolutely could be a button. You know, I just popped another one, and it's not a button. I'll let you take a look at it. Here we can clearly see there is a washer and a nail. So now the mystery is solved. This is probably used to put the maybe the building felt down on the side of the house, or even the roof of the house. And the house stood right here. You know, I thought it was right here where you see the discoloration of it, and it still could be, but there definitely was a building right here. And there is a stone foundation underneath the grass right here, and it's in this area right here, and I've been hitting into it. I have the small coil, and I'm going to take my time and just go through this really slow. There is a lot of zinc lids in here. I have found others, and Scott has found some in here, and it could be a cellar here, and the house stood here, or the house stood here, you know, and the cellar was over in here somewhere. But I do have the root cellar right here behind me, and so I would think that's where they would have been putting their canning jars, is right here. All right, so let's pocket that. Let's keep going. All right, I pulled the plug, popped it out, and it literally fell out, and it's a coin, and I see it. I haven't looked at it yet. Is it a Wheatie? No, I think it's a memorial. Yeah, 1 cent. It is a Lincoln Head 1 cent. Yep. All right, let's bag it. Keep going. Good hit. 2122. There it is. What is it? What is it? I do not know. Got one on a tractor. We'll put this over here. But I want to show you guys something else. Something very, very cool. looky here. Look at this old pot. Look at that. Yeah, see that old pot? Looky there. Pull it in the frame. This is probably an old bean pot. The handle's on the side. And if you watch some of my videos, you'll see that I find some of these at old house sites. That's really cool. All right, I'll show you that old bean pot there. Scott came to me, and what do you have?
It looks like a buckle of some kind. It looks like brass and with an iron piece in it.
Yeah, that's it. It's an old brass buckle with an iron pin there. Very nice. Horse tack, you think, or from a shoe, or a little belt, kid's belt? Could be any and all of that.
Oh, yeah, indeed, indeed.
Way to go, Scott. All right, I had a screamer of a signal here. I pulled it out, and I started looking around here, and I never saw anything right off the bat. So, I took out my pinpointer, and it's zeroing in on this object right here. I wanted to show you, this is a huge piece of lead. But look at that. It looks like they molded it in a spoon. Like maybe they heated it up in a spoon. Do you see that? That's really cool. It makes me wonder if they made lead bullets out of this. This is kind of like a lead ingot. I don't know. It's real heavy though. All right, let's bag it and keep going. All right, I got a good signal here. I have not pulled it out. It's still in the plug. I'll let you hear it. I'm hoping it's a coin. But the coins that I've found so far, yeah, 25, 26. Okay, it's right here. I think it's going to be a coin. It is a coin. It is a dime. Ooh, is it silver? I don't think it is. I think it's 2,000 or something. All right, well, I'm 10 cents richer. All right, I got a good hit. And I popped the plug and pulled it out. I have not looked at it, but I can see it. And it's round, and it has that button look to it, but it's small. So if it's anything, it's a cuff button or a rivet. So let's take a look. It's gonna be right here. Let's take a look at it. Well, I don't know. Well, what is it? It's either a rivet or a cuff link. Is what that is. So, I tell you what, I have dug so many bullets today, and this is different. And this could be a decorative piece on a saddle even. It could be a rivet for leather. I'm happy with that. All right, let's bag it and keep going. I wanted Scott here to share a little story that he shared with me when we first came here onto this site. And it has to do with moonshine and the neighbors here, or was it your family?
A little bit of both, I think.
So tell us about it.
Well, I know that, you know, back in the early 1900s, moonshine was made up in these hollers, and right up the road here, there's a trail that goes up on the mountainside, and there's still pieces of the still along the way, and we don't know exactly where it's at, but we're pretty sure that if we walk up there, we metal detect along the way, we'll be able to find the trail and hopefully find where they had the still set up, because they needed a supply of water. So if we can find a spring or a stream or something and follow it up through there, we'll probably find where the still was set up. And people going up and back, who knows what they dropped. Another story is down the road here is a one-room schoolhouse, and back about 1918, a man was shot and killed, and the story is that it was a dispute over the price of moonshine. That he got shot, they killed him, they put him inside the schoolhouse and burned it down. And that's right down the road here, and probably you'll have permission to check that out. Right now the grass is too high, you can't get into it. And I looked it up in the paper from that time period about the trial and so on and so forth, and it's definitely something happened there. It was my grandmother's schoolhouse, so when it burned down, she had to go to another schoolhouse.
Crazy, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Crazy, the possibilities.
Yep.
So do we come back and check it out?
I think we should. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys think we should come back? Leave a comment, let us know. Okay, so we're going to segue here into our wrap up, and we're going to show you what we found. A lot of my stuff, most of my stuff you've actually seen, so I'll go over it fairly quickly. Some of it I've cleaned up, I'll show it to you, and then we'll go over and take a look at what Scott has found, and then we'll call it a day. Right here is everything I found with the exception of this piece right here. A lot of it's junk, a lot of it's shells and bullets, which we knew we'd find in here because you said you do a lot of target practice shooting stuff in here. My good stuff is, of course, is the harmonica reed, and I cleaned this up a little bit, and I think it is a rivet, but it is a very decorative rivet. I think it goes to a saddle, is my guess. And Scott thought so, maybe too, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course I found some coins here. I got 10, 11 cents. This I thought was metal, a piece of spoon, but it is actually a piece of stone, and it looks purposeful to me. It is absolutely perfectly formed, and maybe it's Native American, I don't know. Of course, a strap hinge, bar iron, a couple plows, and that's what I found today. So Scott, let's go over and see what you found.
I'm the king of the shotgun shells.
He has some pretty decent, pretty nice shotgun shells. I told him, I said, some of these are old. Okay, so you've got, you know, I've looked at everything here. Got into a patch of zinc leads. And there was quite a few of those down there because I heard them too. And they sound beautiful. And then he found a couple horseshoes. He believes that he found where the barn was, and that that rivet that I found was down there. So I think definitely there's probably something going on down there. This is actually off of a wagon, and I have showed you guys in a prior video where this is located on a wagon and what it looks like on a wagon. And then you found some pliers, a strap hinge, and then you saw his buckle, and then he's got some nice shotgun stamps here. This one here is a 10 gauge, and these are not very common. And a 10 gauge will kick your arm off. UMC, now UMC, new clubs. These ones here, I've showed you these in past videos. UMC was bought out by Winchester Corporation in between 1909 and 1910. So these shotgun stamps date back to like 1892-ish, all the way up to around 1909. And he's got a number of them here. And then he found a nice little brass buckle. I showed you that. Did you have fun?
I had a great time.
I had a great time. Scott, thanks for inviting me out. I had a great time here. Been a perfect day.
You couldn't ask for better weather.
Couldn't ask for better weather.
Indeed.
All right, you guys. Thanks a lot for tagging along. Next adventure. Don't know where it's going to be yet, but I hope you guys will join me there. Until then, we'll see you in the next episode.